Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 7, Next to Die. Warning, this will contain prediction spoilers and even comic book spoilers. I have to put that because some of you guys are behind on the comics. Over the last several months, we've speculated who Negan might kill, and today we're going to talk about potential deaths in the show, and believe it or not, Negan may not even be involved in these. So before you say it doesn't happen like that because it only happens in the comics, keep in mind the last few episodes have really changed up from the comics quite a bit. So let's keep an open mind, and we'll start out with one of the most obvious, at least it's very obvious to me, and that would be Richard. Richard is in Ezekiel's inner circle. I don't know if he's his right-hand man. That may be a spot reserved for Jerry, both literally and figuratively. But Richard has been walking a very slippery slope lately. I mean, Richard has taken a lot of humor in feeding walkers to the pigs. It's definitely tainting the meat, and even one of the saviors said they look a little fatter, and he said, yeah, I made sure of it myself. If Negan finds out about this, he will definitely become an example. We also saw Heavy Metal Rocker actually get a cheap shot on Richard, and Richard stood up to him. He said, I think you got that a little bit reversed. And then the produce guy actually said, next week's produce week, time to produce or you'll be first. And we know in the comics that Richard did die. It's speculated that the Saviors did kill him. Leave in the comments below. Let me know if you think it'll be the Saviors or if Negan will actually come back and make an example and kill him via Lucille. I'd love to see your thoughts and comments on that. Moving forward to Spencer, we know Spencer, the clock is ticking down. Spencer's going to leave the show within the next 3 weeks, according to a lot of major spoiling sites. Spencer's actually been very disconnected from the group lately. Spencer actually met Negan at the gate, so there's a lot of reasons why we could see this death happening. Spencer's oblivious, did not know who Negan was when he first came in. Negan said, you must be joking. Negan, Lucille. And we know that Spencer wants to take over the group and he wants Negan to help him. So in the comic book, Negan slices him and says, you don't have the guts to do it. However, there's growing speculation that this could change from the comic arc. I know a lot of comic fans are saying it has to happen this way. Yes, he might get slashed, but the word is that Rick actually might kill one of his own. Rick has already threatened Spencer. Actually, I think he threatened him the same way he threatened Shane. He said, I'll break your jaw and knock your teeth out. So could Rick actually lose it when he finds out Spencer is trying to betray him? Let me know your thoughts. Do you think Rick could be a cold-blooded killer, or do you think this death is definitely reserved for Negan? Once again, I'd love to see your thoughts, your comments on that. Morgan could have been dead already. So Morgan, very interesting storyline developing here. So Morgan actually found the kingdom, introduced himself, brought Carol over, but this story arc has changed quite a bit from the comics. Now keep in mind, in the comics, Morgan did lose his wife, he did lose his son, and that caused him to go in a little different direction. Morgan was a part of this event here, so if the Saviors find out, Morgan could be on the chopping block as well. I'd hate to see him get Lucille'd. In the comic, Morgan forms a relationship with Carl, but what we're starting to see in the TV show, Morgan's starting to form that relationship with Benjamin. He gave him his book, he's starting to train him. Ezekiel actually asked him to sort of take him under his wing a little bit, and even the scene where they were having lunch, Benjamin opened up and told him a little bit about his father. Now, there's still some speculation of what happened with that. Perhaps Negan killed his father. I mean, we know that Negan typically kills one, but we don't know the backstory of the kingdom just yet. And also, there's a budding relationship between Carol and Ezekiel that could leave Morgan as the odd man out. Now, in the comic, Morgan was bitten by a zombie or a walker, and then Michonne actually had to cut off his arm. He was suffering from a fever, so perhaps Morgan gets bit by a walker, and maybe Carol has to take that role, because we've seen pictures of Carol actually in the night armor later on in the episode, so perhaps that'll give Carol a will to fight once again. So this one may be a little bit of a stretch. This is Father Gabriel, and I know a lot of people are going to say, he just recently died in the comics. There's no way he could die. But keep in mind, Father Gabriel just blatantly lied to Negan. Now, if Negan finds out tonight that Maggie's still alive, then Gabriel's going to be on the chopping block. Yes, Rick was involved in the conversation too, but Rick pretty much has a free pass. If someone does something wrong or Rick does something wrong, I think Negan will just kill someone and then hold Rick responsible for it and continue to psychologically torture him. So as said before, a lot is going to depend on what happens tonight when Simon storms in. Hopefully he does not find Maggie, because that could send the storyline in a total different direction. Now here's the comic book spoiler that we talked about. I think this is issue number 158. Father Gabriel's up on the water tower, starts to come down. There's walkers, there's whispers all around, gets his foot caught. Beta actually comes over and disembowels him. So I know it's a different storyline. It's speculation, but leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And here's the bonus story plot. Someone suggested this and I had to talk about it. So we know that Denise died via arrow to the eye. Tara does not know about it yet, and we think Tara could freak out. But someone had suggested, what if Tara actually takes Michonne's story arc? And we know there's a video game out there. So Michonne leaves for about 2 years. She becomes a pirate. Tara has been working out in the wilderness along the coast. I think this is a very, very valid suggestion. Tara may not have a lot to live for now that Denise is gone. Could she potentially take her own life, or could she exile herself and potentially join the pirate brigade with Pete and all the gang? So we know that's a little different story arc. It's saved for Michonne, but it could happen to someone else. And that's why we do speculation videos, just to talk about different scenarios. And I'd love to read your comments to see what you think may change from the comics to the television show. My name is Killshot. Give this video a thumbs up and look for more videos and a live stream tonight at 11:15 after Talking Dead. Thanks again. Peace.